Terry, here is my Arduino project. I have a 3x3 LED matrix as indicated by my email. I have the Arduino and the joystick that will control everything. So the project scope was to have a light controllable by this joystick. So let's just move this joystick to the right here, 1. And if you can see, the LED will actually change based on the input from the joystick. So I'll move it to the right again. I'll move it up, left, down. If I'm lucky, I can get a diagonal sometimes, but there you go. Alright. So here we have, coming out of the Arduino, these warm colors right here go to the positive ends of these three, or this LED matrix. So here we have one row, or I guess one column. Here we have a second column right here and a third column. So these cool colored wires go to the negative ends, which are hooked up to transistor switches. So when I'm in this base position here, I have this positive turned on, and then I have this transistor switch right here turned on. And so when I move to the right one, it turns this switch off, and then turns this positive side off, turns this positive side on, but remains with this on. So when I move up, it'll change which transistor is switched on and which is switched off. So right now I have this transistor switched on. Okay, here is my code section. At first I have to initialize a couple variables. So here I have the X and Y position initialized. This 5 and 8 are the digital I/O pins on the Arduino. This X last and Y last I use later in the code, so I didn't assign them a value. I have to tell each pin what it'll do during the void setup, which only runs once. And then I have my serial monitor running for troubleshooting, so that I can see what the joystick input is doing while I'm outputting to the matrix. So here's my main program. So I have the X change variable, which is going to be an analog read of one of the outputs on the joystick, the X direction, and then the Y change is the analog read of the Y direction of the joystick. And then I have X compare and Y compare, which at the beginning of this, or I'll explain those later. So then if the X change, which is the joystick input, is less than 10, which is the max or the minimum resistance value, I have the joystick oriented in the non-default setting, so I had to change a couple of the values. But it'll add 1 to the X position, and then the X last will go to the new X position minus X1. And that'll do that for X, and it'll also do it for Y. And so here, these switch functions actually prevent us from losing the light. So if we go back over to our circuit, and I go keep going right, it'll actually reset and go to the other side of the 3x3 matrix. And it'll do it for both directions, left and right, up and down, all around. So then we never lose our light. Here we have, based on the math from before, our digital write will turn on the position that you want and turn off the last position that it was in, so that only one light is present. These prints are for the serial monitor so that I can see what's going on. Here I have a couple if statements that, so Y compare is the previous Y position, and then Y position here is the new Y position based on the changes in the code in the loop above. So if they're the same, then it will read as fast as it typically goes. I don't remember what speed it reads at. But if it notices a change and notices that the light is different, then it will delay quarter second so that you don't just skip over, and that it'll be sort of a slow transition and you can do it easily, I guess. I don't really know the words I'm looking for right now. This whole video thing is so nerve-wracking. Alright, well that's my whole project. I think this covers everything. Just a short YouTube video explaining it, going through the code. I hope you enjoy. I appreciate the project. It was a lot of fun. And yeah, thanks.